Hello and welcome to this video. My name's David Thorne. In this video we're going to be creating a chat view. Okay, not a chat app but a chat view. So it's going to have like a table view where all the message is going to be shown, and then when it receives a new message it will be added to the bottom, and then you can tap on a text field and type your message in and then press submit, and that will then send off to your database, which we're not going to implement, and then it will come back and it will insert the new message and so on. There's going to be no database in the background of it. It's just going to be the raw view with its basic implementation. Someone else will need to implement the actual database and so on, logic for it, or the providers, but this could happen in another video. So let's get started, shall we? It's probably going to be an hour, this video. I'm going to go as quick as I can and just going to get through it. All right, so let's get started. So we are going to call it a chat application because it's easier, and not going to have unit tests, and I'm just going to keep going. Chat application. This is going to go in my Xcode projects. So we can put this in here and it gets submitted with all of the others. All right. Okay, so first we need is the actual chat view. Call this the chat view, include a unit test, and then add it to the application. Let's go. And this then creates some files, classes, groups, assets, storyboard, chat view. Come on in. Controller, get you in there. Let's create chat view controller. That'll do. Goes in there, it's correct, and make this open. It's open too. It has table view, which we need, so and I'm just going to try and get this. Come on, get this done as quick as I can. And chat view controller delegates. Whoops. And come down here and database, data source as well. Whoops, wrong one. Cell for row, cell for. Where are you then? Why are you not showing? Why you want to show me the last one? Why is this doing this to me? Use of undeclared. Ah, look, that's why. Silly. There it is. And DQ, and this is going to be own cell. We're going to say, just going to call it cell for now. And text label, text equals cell. Let's get this going first of all. And number sections is going to be 1. Number of rows is self is going to be this, and we're going to implement this now. And then we're going to implement this as well. item, I don't know what it's going to be at the moment, so we're just going to say items, then cell items can be empty, and then we say get index, because I always do this, index path, cell item, return, and then we need a queue as well, for definitely for a chat view, you've got to have a queue. So this is going to be read queue. Now it's just going to be a general queue. We're going to call this messages queue, just to be a bit clearer. You've got to have this. And this is going to be lazy as well. You have to have this, okay? Don't think about skipping over this. You've got to have it. And so this is a synchronous queue. So we're going to have to say message queue items, oops, index row in this situation. Okay, so we've got that one, and then this is going to be messages queue sync as well, return items, counts, happy there, delegate equals self, which I never spelled correctly the first time, but this time I'm going to spell data source correctly, and this one here. Okay, so we've got this going, that's all working fine. We want to come here. Okay, let's get rid of you. Okay, we've got the table view, number of sections and so on, so we're all happy. Okay, this chat view needs definitely needs a data source, and so we're going to say chat view data source protocol, and I'm going to copy it to save time. Load items, cell item, and this comes here. This is definitely going to be escaping as well, so we have to have this, and we're going to have another protocol. It's called chat view real time data source protocol. Okay, and you'll see what this does in a minute. Okay, and this is then going to be real time data source, and that's going to be going to be added on. All right, so this is going to receive our initial items, and this is going to be then on added method, which is then going to take cell item, and this can be optional, and you can get and set it right on added, and it's going to have on deleted as well, and on changed. All right, so every single time an item is added or deleted, it's going to get called here. And yeah, so there's our data source. So let's give it a data source now. Chat view real data source, and we come here and say data source load items and real time data source. Okay, so now we want to, because this is the initial items, we want to say messages queue sync and self.items equals items, And once we've got the item, before we've got the items, we set them, we want to then be able to then come here and go on edit, and then come here and say item in, like this, right? And then come say on changed and on deleted, and we're gonna add the item to the items, but it's a bit more difficult to update the item in the items if exists. Remove item from the items, yeah? So once that's done, then we need to make sure that we say here, dispatch main async, reload this here, and scroll to, and if self.items counts are more than 0, then we're gonna, actually we'll just do a guard statement there because it puts it on one line, like this. I'll do that there, and then if this is, then we'll just do index path, index row is then last equals message queue sync return. So number of rows in section. Yeah, we don't need that. We can just literally have it here. What do I do here? Number of rows in section 0, and we're going to go bottom and animated true. That's probably going to crash, I'm guessing. But we need to go back to our chat view as well, and chat view controller. Initialize this. Doesn't have a table view in it yet, and we'll add it now. But we also need, which we can't forget about, we also need to have, yep, this works. This needs to go here, like that there, and we add that to that there, and we're going to leave that, and we're going to open up recent projects, this here, and going to steal this instance file because I can't be bothered writing it again. Take this, plop it in there, and copy this, come here, paste that there, paste that there, paste it there, and but we've got a data source now, which is something different. So put that there. Yes, okay, and it was chat view. Remove this, and then UI kit here as well. Run that. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's that done now. What errors have we got? Yeah, that's fine. Cannot assign to property. Is it a let? Yeah, okay. Fine then. Real-time data sources here. That's there, and once this gets set, well, then we can just do these methods here, right? Still works fine. and make sure that we have one too. So let's copy this. If we don't, then do that there. All right, so this is doing the correct thing now. So at least we're setting it. This all builds correctly now. Cannot sign is a let constant. I said this should be changeable. It's a go to a setter. Sign property real-time data source is a let constant. Well, you're confused by this. Ah, I don't. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Okay, good. That's working fine. So now we have this. All right. Once this gets set, then we activate our real-time functionality before anything else happens. And once we get our items, we assign our items here, and then we reload the table. And once the table's been reloaded, then we scroll to the bottom to make sure that the bottom one is then being shown. So this is all good. Our instant method is injecting the data source that we need. Whoops. Injecting the data source that we need as well. And so we're happy. Okay, next thing that we need to do is then add it to our chat application, which is added already, and get rid of this. Let's change over to here, chat view, window root. Actually, let's give it a chat view. And so on. And once we do that, then we'll add the extension that we need, chat view data source. Is then load, and this needs to be also chat view here as well. Alright, so let's give it no messages at the moment, and then give it self as well. Actually, we'll give it 1. Alright, so that's working. And if we actually, so we can say self on deleted now, we can say 1. Right, on change now, we can say 1. Or added, we can say 2. So we can see whether they're actually going to be called afterwards being set. Okay, so let's change this to iPhone 6, and this then is chat view in a navigation controller. How much time on? 18 minutes, not too bad. Okay, don't forget to add the cell, David, otherwise that's going to break in here. This here, and we're going to make a custom cell later anyway. Okay, the data source is then sending it back, it's no problem. Yeah, I'm guessing this could work. Failed, does not conform to, oh yes, of course. We're going to have to yeah, let's just do this and do this again. Do this like that, and we're going to then return on added. These can't go here. These need to go up here. Added. We're going to create a delegate later, or deleted. That's good. So return, and then we say on edit equals new value. And we copy this, paste, paste, remove that, and get that done. That's optional. It's looking good. It's looking like it's loading. Happy days. Let's run it. It's probably just going to go crash, bang, because of the table view or something, or yeah. Always expected to crash the first time. Yes, of course it did, and that's probably because of the scrolling. I never remember which constant offset for the no, using bounds for section. I always forget whether you're supposed to do it before or after the. Let's try again. Right, we're going to leave the scroll out until I remember how to do it, because it's just a nightmare sometimes. Number of rows in section. Yeah, obviously, where it got is more than 0. Yes, that's why, because we were going for. It's fine. There it goes, fine. Right, now let's pump some messages into it from the delegate. Right, let's create, if I remember rightly, we want to go like this. And I'll go 100. And you can go iterate, I believe. Enumerate. Map, and this here should be, I believe that works. It should do, yeah. Array from strings. Let's have a look. So we should have 100 messages now. And the 100th message should be at the bottom. Okay, so it's working. It scrolled down to the bottom, right? Which is good. So now we know that the basic chat view is working, which I'm happy with. Let's remove this rubbish that's coming out down the bottom. And we're on 23 minutes so far. Activity mode. Disable. Okay, so good. Now we have the we have this. We need to check that it's on added, on changed, on delete is working, right? But this is for a later implementation of it, because we haven't added the real time part of it yet. So what we want to add now is the possibility for a user to add a message. Now we should be worrying about keyboards moving and stuff like that, but in this tutorial we're not going to, because it takes a little bit of extra time to do. So we're not going to put it inside the table, but we're going to put it outside the table like that. And it's going to be 0 here and 0 on the bottom, and a height, I don't know, of 60, let's say. And then we want text field here, and we don't want that. Okay, now we want a button here. Don't want that. That's fine. Go equal heights. Come on then. Aspect ratio is here. It's done. And we'll change this to, say, send. And the actual size of the button will equal height. We'll say it's like 80% or something of it. Trailing space, we'll say 20, and actually we'll align it horizontally, but then we need to remove the top and bottom. It's looking good, and this then will be horizontal to this. Trailing space 10 to that. We don't want any border on this either, so we want to remove that. Okay, we're good, and let's put let's put another one here as well. This might be a little bit over the top doing this. Sometimes it's so annoying. Okay, so we want to have that and that, and height say 1. And the table view is going to go vertical space into this, which means we need to remove yeah, actually it doesn't go to that. This one here is going to be background of like a greyish, dark grey. That's good. It's our line. Okay, now we need to add the text input. So we're going to call it message input. And also then the button, so the send button. Oops. Send buttons here. And by default, we're going to disable it. Just do this. Oops, not the right one. Is enabled is equal to false. Set title equals sends for normal. That'll be good. Okay, the input field as well, we're going to copy this. We're going to say field, place that there, and then field placeholder is enter your message here, and at target self, and whoops, wrong one, is then message input value changed for UI control events and editing changed. That's what we want. So let's come back to here and implement this method now, and put this down the bottom. Sender is then UI text field, and it's if so value equals sender text, and then send button is enabled equals value count is more than I don't know, let's just do 0 first of all, right? Otherwise it's disabled and that will get called all the time. We can't have that, or we don't want that in there. We can have it in there, but we're going to have it in here a bit better. Clean this up. Whoops. Yep, that'd be fine. Okay, this should now work. And in order to do this, we now need a delegate, right, to send the message as well. So let's say chat view delegates protocol. The delegate is in charge of sending messages. The data source is only in charge of receiving messages. Protocol, and copy this. Oops, I spelled protocol wrong. Send message with text. This is going to be an error, and chat view error, and when there's no error then everything is fine. Just make this file string, and we'll say could not send, the message could not be sent. No, so we'll just say network error. Please check your internet connection. And user not authenticated. The user is not authenticated. Okay, that's good. So now we know that delegate is going to give that's fine. Okay, come to the instance. Now it actually needs a delegate as well, so we have to retrieve it or request it. Delegate equals delegates into question mark, and copy this, come here, place that there, and these two can come up here because they're important. Now our app delegate won't like it, so we have to chat view delegate, we have to implement it and send message. These items we have to save these items here as well. Yeah. We have to update these items, so we'll just say this here, send items, and we'll say on added, and we're going to say text, for example, and then we're going to say items append text. Right, nice and simple. And this is then optional. So this is going to get called. So when they send a message, it's going to get on added and it's going to append it to the items, and we're all happy. So when the user taps message change, now we need to have the action for the button. Did we do that? Send button didn't have a IB action, so we have to add this now. Let's just check again because I could have missed it. No, it didn't. All right. So send button and this is then UI button, and until is enabled equals false. Right, we're going to disable it until we've sent the message. So delegate.send text message, send message, and message input text is equal to this. And if there's an error, then we'll alert something. So show error. So essentially, if error is equal to nil, then self show error. So message, and this needs to then show error message chat view error, and will display error message. Alright, and otherwise, if all's fine and the message did get sent, then we'll say message input text equals nil, and that will then trigger the did change, and then the button should be disabled again, I hope. So we should be able to test this now, I'm guessing. Okay, argument is required. Add this as well. That we already gave it a delegate. What are we on? 37 minutes. Yeah, and then we say hello. And it didn't work at the moment. Okay, yeah, because our real time, right, on added. So we want message has been added, and that is this. Okay. Also, our table view needs a height for header, height for footer in section, and we're going to say 80, and view for footer in section is just going to be a UI view, and CG rect. So telf.table.frame.width and height equals 80, and we'll return this as well. Yeah, and an estimated height for footer in section. Yes, so that should be adding a buffer between where the message input is. There we go, see? And now if we say test here, we've got message has been added, test here. All right, now we need to actually add it to the table view, all right? So we need to say table view begin updates, and then table view end updates. And sometimes I forget how to do this. So table view is insert rows at index path, and there's only one. Whoops. There's only one, so this is actually really quite easy. And you just say number of rows in section for section, and bottom. And then, if I remember rightly, we should then have to say items append item before. I always forget whether it's before or after you need to do it. So this should, what was going on there? It's failed there for some reason. What went wrong? Obviously it's Xcode going to reference to it. Yeah, needs that, and we want it to scroll as well. But we just want to see that the item is in the page first. And nicely crashed, obviously. Let's try it again. Number of rows in section. Okay, so it got added. Another one got added. Right now we just need to scroll it. So now we can say scroll to the bottom. Oops. And see whether that works. No, that's not right. Oh dear. Do this again. I think you have to do only doing scrolling afterwards. Yeah, I think you need to do scrolling outside of it. Yes, there we go. So, new message. Yeah, okay. So we're rocking and rolling now. Let's go to the data source again and let's get the item. So gets index path, and the item is then it was a string anyway, from what I understand. Yes. To any, yeah. Okay, it was any, yes. Okay, now the messages should be, yeah, clearer. Offset 98. Oh, okay, look at that. That's, well, anyway, we've got the messages. So look, our chat app is potentially working right now. And hello, but it's not removing it once we send it, so that the view is not when the button's pressed, message input changed, and where's the button being pressed is equal to nil. Are we not calling it? Ah, yeah, we didn't call the completion handler. That's better. Okay, new message. Bosh, yes, a new message. Boom, there it is. It's the chat app, right? And so when we load this in the delegate now, right, what we can do, which is really, really cool, is if we create a queue, dispatch queue, and this is going to be chat app, and we'll make this concurrent, so it's going to go in the background, and then we'll repeat while true, right? And we'll use sleep for 800 milliseconds, and then we'll come onto the main thing and say self.onAdded is a new message of self dot items dot count. Right, now we'll run this. Okay, that's nicely freezing our app now. So let's comment that back out again and see what the problem is. Okay, sometimes it's because when it's on added here, we're nearly basically finished now. In insert rows, okay, we don't want it to scroll. Well, actually we do want it to scroll. Okay, I'm going to leave it here because we've basically done everything that I wanted to do. I just wanted to make the basic view finished, and we've done that. So we kind of just about started to do the data, but we've got the mock data working. Anyway, I hope that you understood this video tutorial. I hope you understood the logic in it. If you don't worry, it's in GitHub, and you can have a look at the code and then change it how you want. But I am going to enhance on this. Don't worry, do it even further, so don't worry about it. But if you do have any questions, please write them in the comments below. If you like it, do a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then dislike it, right? But please write a comment though, telling me why you disliked it, because I can't work it out with just a thumbs down. If you want to subscribe to be notified of all of the new videos which I'm making about Swift or about Node or anything else like that, then subscribe and press the notifications button. I really thank you for watching, and I hope that you've learned something. And if you have watched all the way to the end, then in my eyes, you're awesome. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.